Welcome back to Tailgate Talk with the boys. 1-5 UVA knocks off number 10 UNC. Tennessee blows a big halftime lead and falls to Alabama. Miami and Clemson gives us a double overtime thriller. John I. Burton gets the first win of the season. Abingdon dominates Ridgeview, and Eastside keeps their playoff hopes alive. Boys, let's get into it. All right, boys. There's a thrilling weekend of football, wasn't it?
No doubt.
Absolutely.
It sure was, man. College was pretty hectic itself. I do have a little bit of NFL news here.
I got one quick thing before we get into all the big college football, too. I want to say UVA-wise down the road here got their second win of the year on Saturday. So
What about that?
they beat Erskine College 34-23. So
Well,
big win for the hometown boys. So,
good deal, man. Anytime they was pretty good like last year, wasn't they?
I have no idea.
I
know they're 2-6 this year. So
yeah. Well, at least they're not just 0 and something or 1
they
and
have
something.
done that before.
Yeah. All right. NFL. Just this one little thing I had on there because I was just thinking about how good the Lions has actually been doing. I was just wondering if you guys felt like that they may be a Super Bowl contender because, we do have a local guy that's playing for the Detroit Lions.
That's right, baby.
And Mr. James Mitchell. Y'all feel like they may be an NFL Super Bowl contender?
It's about like saying the Minnesota Vikings are.
Well, the Minnesota Vikings was actually pretty good last year.
I won't count Dan Campbell out. I think he's a great coach. I love Dan Campbell. They did get hammered today though, like bad. They got beat like 38-6 today by the Ravens earlier. So I don't know, but I don't know. It's like such a toss up kind of in the NFL right now. Like there's a lot of really good teams, So I don't know.
All about the matchup, ain't it?
It is. It really is. And I'd love to see them get there at least, I mean, why not? If they get there, I'm pulling one for sure to win it.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to see James Mitchell get this ring, it's a big Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, and they use a lot of different guys. I mean, there's nobody really sticks out big time. They get the ball around. They use a lot of different receivers and stuff in a lot of different ways.
I've been pretty impressed with their defense, too. I mean,
Yeah.
Overall, they've been playing pretty good. All right, let's get into this college football because this was a wild weekend in college football, boys. A lot of your top teams did not play up to par. Up first, though, we have Clemson 20, Miami 28. This was a double overtime thriller game. Man alive, it was fun to watch this game right here, too.
I will say this one thing about this game. Me and Aaron both picked this, and 93.5, every one of you blew it. You should have went big Miami, big boys.
Well, I went Miami just because of the location of the game. Sean, you got anything on this one?
Well, I thought Clemson done a lot better than Miami in some aspects of the game. Like Miami, they lost 2 fumbles. While I was watching the game, I was like, man, Miami keeps having these turnovers. And then Clemson turned around and turned the ball over like 5 or 6 times. So I was like, I don't know what's about to happen, but that was a wild game, man.
Well, we know how turnovers can change a game for you.
Yeah, I
sure.
thought Clemson could have put themselves in some better positions to win, but they just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like we talked last week. Clemson, they're not the Clemson of last year or the year before. They're struggling. They'll be back on top though.
They're still a really, really good football team.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah.
Duke 20, Florida State 38. This one right here was pretty fun to watch too for a long time.
Yeah.
Florida State kind of pulled away in the end.
I love the quarterback from Florida State. I can't never think of his name. Travis. Jordan Travis.
Yeah.
That guy's a stud. I thought Duke's quarterback played kind of pitiful. I didn't think he looked very good, but they ran the ball. I thought they ran the ball real well. They let that one back really carry him, but, Florida State is, they're not number 4 in the country for no reason, They're a good ball team, but, Duke's a lot better than a lot of people give them credit for, too, but I expected Florida State to win this one.
And the same thing you said about Duke's quarterback, I thought against Notre Dame, I thought he struggled the first half of that ball game, and then they come out running and grounding and pounding the game coming back on Notre Dame. I think Duke's a solid all-around team, but it's like we talked last week, Florida State, man, they can hit you quick at any given time.
Yeah, they can.
I thought they, their offense has just looked better and better and better, too, like as the year goes on. Like against the LSU, they played that first game, and they were explosive, but every time I've watched them since then, they just keep adding new stuff to that offense. It just makes it and they have playmakers everywhere. In that LSU game, they had a running back with a touchdown, 2 receivers with a touchdown. Their quarterback had a rushing touchdown. A H-back had a touchdown. They just have a ton of good players on that team. So.
I think it might have been on the last episode that I was kind of talking about that too. That Florida State is a team that you've seen improvement with from week 1 to week 2, from week 2 to week 3. They're consistently getting better, and that's what I like to see. Sometimes when you got a team that starts out that's already in dominant form, there's only one way for them to go normally from that, and that's down.
Yeah.
I'd much rather see a team that's,
keep building
pretty
their
good.
way up
Keep
all year
building
long.
and get better. Penn State 12, Ohio State 20. If you like defense, this was a game to watch. Otherwise, it was kind of boring. But I'm gonna tell you, Penn State's defense is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
And if they had any offense whatsoever, they would have won this ball game. Their defense kept them within striking distance this whole game, man.
Even with Brent Pryor being gone for 2 years there, they're still holding up the defensive end of the bargain at Penn State.
Yeah.
It's about kind of ball game I expected right here. Ohio barely pulling it out.
It was definitely a tough one.
But, anybody that knows me knows that I hate Ohio State with a burning passion in my heart. I don't know why. I've just always hated Ohio State. But I'm telling you, Marvin Harrison Jr. is such a special player.
Oh,
he had, this week 11 receptions for 162 yards and a touchdown. I know he didn't get on the scoreboard much, but like y'all said, in a defensive game, the one touchdown he did get was a big one. So I just love watching him play, man. He's going to be special for a long time, I think, at any level he plays at.
Yep. It was a good game if you like defense. Like I said, if you don't like a defensive battle game, then that one probably wasn't the game for you. But it was definitely no offense much in it. UCF 29, Oklahoma 31. I'm telling you right now, UCF gave Oklahoma all they wanted. Oklahoma was stumping their toe everywhere.
They about didn't get out of there.
They just about didn't get out of there.
Didn't.
A lot closer than I expected this one to go down right here.
There'll probably be a lot of change in the top 5 this week.
I thought that UCF offense played their hind ends off. That quarterback had a great game. One of the running backs, the quarterback had 250 yards passing. The running back had over 100 yards rushing. I thought he was really pounding the ball. He had 25 carries or something. But I didn't expect that out of Oklahoma, especially coming off beating Texas. So,
Yep. Tennessee 20, Alabama 34. This is the one right here, boys. Tennessee blowed a 20-point, pretty much halftime lead, and Alabama doing exactly what they've done all year, playing like junk in the first half, come out in the second half and look like national championship caliber team. They came out and just pretty much dominated Tennessee in the second half.
I agree with that. I thought that this was one of the best games I've watched Joe Milton play all year. I thought he had flashes where he looked really, really great.
He was
week.
throwing some really nice passes in this game.
But, man, that Alabama offense is just Jalen Milroe. He is a special player. I know, he's got some inconsistency and some trouble, but they're running back really packed them too. I can't remember what that guy's name is either. McLean maybe or something like that. Had like 27 carries. I mean, he really was.
He was running the
ball.
ball.
I mean, he put it on his back. He had like 115, a touchdown, I think. But that's what me and my Uncle Bob talked about. Alabama looked like crap in the first half, and they came out the second half and looked like a completely different team. So
they've done that all year.
Yeah,
I mean, you go back and you look at all the games that they've won. They've all, man, except for the Texas game. They looked great in the third quarter, but they didn't look too good in the fourth quarter. But now to me, if you're an Alabama fan, you would like to see a whole 60 minutes of what you have normally in these third and fourth quarters of these games. I think if you get that, man, Alabama, it would be scary at how good they would be right now.
I'm glad they're finally sticking with Milroe, for the long haul.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Tennessee come out, lighting it up, and I started to get word for Alabama. But, man, if Alabama could play a full game like they did the second half in this game, they ain't no doubt they're going to be right there in the SEC championship and probably win if they play against Georgia like they did this second half in this game.
But they've not done that yet.
Yeah, they're going to have to put a full game like that together.
I'm not sure that they can. It's just something about it. But they came out in that third quarter, man, got that real long run, and then, boom, 2 plays, they was in the end zone. And that really, I think, got them fired up, and it was on like Donkey Kong then. Washington State 23, Oregon 38. Oregon didn't play the best football in this game right here either. Washington State gave them all they wanted for a good long time.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Which Washington State's a pretty good football team too. I mean, they're not horrible. But I really expected Oregon to win it by a little bit bigger margin.
I always look at stats, like when we're, before we talk about all this, but the Washington State quarterback threw like 50 passes this week, I think. But he threw the ball 48 times. I know that for a fact. He had like 400 and something yards. But I thought Bo Nix played, decently well, which he is like 28 years old playing college football. So,
that's like 48 times and 400 and something yards. That's like nearly 10 yards.
He was it was 9.1 average yards per completion. So.
But even if you go back and look at the worst teams in this conference, Washington State, Arizona, and them, man, they still put up points. Even though they lose, they still put up points.
Yeah, because there's no defense really anywhere hardly in that.
Yeah.
I think Utah probably had been showing probably the signs of the most defense in it, but yeah, man. Texas 31, Houston 24. Texas came out looking like world beaters and got up 21-0. I'm thinking, all right, Texas is back. And then the next thing you know, Houston is climbing back in this thing, and Texas escaped, but it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, college football is wild, man. You never know what's going to happen in college football.
This weekend right here is being crazy, and I mean, phew.
And that quarterback, again, this was like the week of quarterbacks. There was quarterbacks from all these schools you thought were going to get blew out going absolutely crazy. The dude from Houston had 378 yards passing. I mean, that's crazy. But, yeah, they hung around. I thought for Texas, they hung around a little too much for my liking, but
I still like Texas. I still think they're going to be one of them teams right there at the end. They look really, really great at times, and they just let Holston hang around way too much in this game.
Well, I think we kind of figured like we may see a Oklahoma and Texas rematch there for the conference championship, but I mean, both of them's gonna have to step it up, or they're going to end up getting upset somewhere.
Yeah.
Michigan 49, Michigan State 0. I think out of all the top 5 teams this week, Michigan is probably the only one that still looked like a top 5 team.
Yeah.
I mean, they dominated on both sides of the ball.
I ain't got much to say on this game, but I hear a rumor this morning, is Harbaugh in more trouble?
Well, Michigan, they're saying they're under investigation again. Michigan is for live in-person recruiting or something other like that.
It was sign stealing, wasn't it? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
It was. I thought that they said that Michigan had sent scouts to other games, and the scouts were sitting in the stands behind the opposing team. You know, the team that's coming up on their schedule. They didn't say what team it was, but they were sitting behind their sidelines, stealing the play call from the signals they give.
Oh.
They were stealing the signals for the play calls, is what they said. But I mean, I don't know.
Oh, Harbaugh, he don't care how he wins them, does he?
Kind of sounds like Belichick.
Hey, man.
Belichick and them.
It's like the Astros a couple years ago. They got caught for stealing signs. Everybody in baseball steals signs. You just can't get caught,
That's right.
It just seems like Harbaugh's, as long as he's been at Michigan, though, he's been caught for everything in the world.
Yeah.
Utah 34, USC 32. This right here was a good game, man.
Sure was.
It was exciting. Utah, I really like Utah, and I think even like going back last week, USC playing Notre Dame, I really felt like Notre Dame was going to dominate that game because I think USC is probably a 7-5 team at best. I mean, there's only one team that I really felt like was a shoe-in, like I said last week, on their schedule, and that's California, that they're definitely going to win. So, I mean...
in this game right here, I thought Utah would win it by a lot more than that. USC kind of surprised me, keeping it this close.
Well, USC's going to be able to score with anybody. I mean, it's just...
I'm excited for 2 weeks from now for USC. USC Washington. I'm excited for that one. I want to see Michael Penix Jr. throw for 1,000 on him.
Well, they're going to have to do better than they did this week.
No doubt.
He barely escaped one this week, too.
I know it.
But going back to the Washington-Oregon game, man, that one was...
Yeah.
Yeah. UVA 31 upsets North Carolina at Chapel Hill, boys. This one right here changes a lot for the ACC picture. I mean, now they've went the last 2 weeks as like a conference that had a pretty good chance of maybe getting 2 or 3 teams possibly in this thing, down to they've got Florida State's the only one now that they're riding their shirt tail the rest of the way, it looks like.
I will say one thing about this North Carolina game that I seen UNC. I about said NC State. This dude on their defense, Cedric Gray, he's a linebacker. He's number 33. Played his tail off. He had 18 tackles in this game. That dude was flying around. When I watched the highlights, man, he was around the ball every time. But I don't know. This really shakes it up, though, like you said, for.
That leaves Florida State out there leading it by themselves to even have a chance of getting somebody into the playoff picture. But I mean, honestly, I don't know what's going on with UNC in this game, other than maybe they're overlooking them. I don't know. But, still, this is at your home. You're home, and then a 2-5 team comes in and beats you, I guess.
I can tell you exactly what happened in this game. I've been down in North Carolina for the last 4 days and didn't get back to 4 o'clock this morning. And
Kermit stole their signals. So if you hear tailgate talk is under investigation,
It's Kermit's fault. Me and Aaron didn't do anything.
We had
I
nothing
leave
to
for
do with
1 week and it goes all to pieces.
No, it wasn't that. Well, you know, Saturday we went to the state fair down there in North Carolina, and I believe it took us like 2 hours to go like 3 miles to get in the parking spot. And I think half of North Carolina's team was there at the state fair, and that's what ended up happening in this game.
Well, you never know. That could be a good possibility. Either way, it was a very embarrassing loss for North Carolina, to say the least. I mean, that right there pretty much sealed their deal as far as a playoff picture goes. All right, guys, let's get into this week number 9 college picks coming up here. Up first, we got Oklahoma, Kansas. Kermit, we'll start with you on this one, buddy. What you got?
I'm gonna go with Oklahoma in this, and I believe they're just too much for Kansas. It wouldn't surprise me to see them in the championship game at the end of the year.
I don't know, Sean. What you got?
I got Oklahoma. I got them pretty big, I think, too.
Well, I'll take Oklahoma if they play like they're capable of playing. But if they play like they did last week, Kansas is liable to beat them. But I will take Oklahoma in this one as well. Indiana, Penn State. How about you, Sean? You want to go with you first?
I'm going Penn State. Indiana's 2-5. You know, Penn State just played Ohio State. I think Ohio State, as bad as I do hate them, I mean, and I really mean that, I hate Ohio State, but as bad as I do hate them, I think that, you know, they got a high-powered offense and a lot to stop. And Indiana's, you know, like 2-5. I got Penn State big, big, big.
Well, I know Indiana played somebody pretty tough last week, or week before last. You know,
Michigan. Yeah, they got their head beat in 52-7.
And then I got Penn State in this one too. I think they do have enough offense to take the win right
I
here.
will say Indiana did play a lot closer with Ohio State than I thought they would at the first game of the year. That one was 23-3, but you know, as you go on, teams get better and better. I got Penn State in this one big.
Yeah, I'll take Penn State too, but I think they got enough offense to get this and done. Their defense is going to make it hard for Indiana to even get any points at all.
Absolutely, I'll take Penn State in this one.
FSU, Wake Forest.
It's going to be a bad day for Wake Forest this week.
Yep, I got Florida State, and I got them pretty big.
Yeah, I got them big too.
Yeah, I'm not in North Carolina no more. I take Florida State big time.
Wake, it's all on your shoulders, buddy, to not get your signal stole. But Kermit's not there no more, so you ain't got nothing to worry about. And he was in your backyard, Wake Forest. Oregon, Utah. Man, this one's a tough one. I'm going to go first on this one, though. I'm going to take the Oregon Ducks in it.
I got the Oregon Ducks, too. I think Bo Nix, I think he'll really be the difference in this one. You know, he's played awesome this year. Over 2,000 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, 1 interception this year, like a 85 QBR. Dude's a stud. But like I said, he is like 28 years old. He's been in college football forever, but I think he'll be the difference in this one. I got Oregon.
I did hear this past week that he broke a college football record as he has the most starts of anybody in college football.
You know, he played at Auburn for like 6 years, and then, you know, he's been at Oregon now, so I could see it.
Yeah, and in this game right here, I think Utah kept it way too close to USC. I'm taking Oregon.
But Utah's still undefeated too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Going to knock another one down this week.
Are you sure you still want to go with Oregon?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Georgia, Florida, boys. Is there really? Okay, I'm going Georgia.
Yeah, I'm going Georgia too.
Big Georgia.
Now, Georgia might have a letdown coming out of a bye week.
No. Georgia's going to hammer them.
You got Georgia, Kermit?
Absolutely. Florida really disappointed me against Kentucky, and there's no way I could pick Florida over Georgia.
This one right here could be interesting, guys. Duke and Louisville. This could be an interesting game.
I got the Duke Blue Devils. I'm not going to pick against them, I don't think, for the rest of the year. I'm a big Dookie, a big believer now.
Yeah, I like I said, I think Duke's just a solid all-around team. They good coach and good on the defensive side. Pretty good running game. I'm gonna take Duke big over Louisville.
I got Duke too in this one right here myself. Notre Dame, Pitt.
I got Notre Dame big.
Wait a minute. You can't stand Notre Dame.
I do. I hate Notre Dame, but I'm just picking what I think's going to happen. I won't sit here and lie to you. I do hate Notre Dame, but I have a lot of hate in my heart. I hate Ohio State, hate
You
Notre
saw
Dame.
Pitt just made they just beat a team, man, like they shouldn't have beat.
I still got Notre Dame.
And what I say a few weeks ago, there's some teams that remind Pitt. Now, it doesn't matter, man. They can upset people at any time. They're just that kind of team. But anyway, who you got, Kermit?
Well, last time I went against Notre Dame and I eat some of that crow sauce, so I believe I'll take Notre Dame on this one.
I think I'm going to give some of that crow sauce to my buddy Sean over here. Here's your crow sauce, son. And my pick on this one is na 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 Notre Dame, baby. Tennessee, Kentucky.
He also got beat by Wake Forest last week, so that's kind of concerning too.
Well, Pitt's up and now. They got beat by Virginia Tech too.
Where we at? Tennessee,
Kentucky.
I'm excited about this one. Y'all go first.
This is going to be a good one. Tennessee don't play good on the road, and if I ain't mistaken, this is at Kentucky, ain't it? Yeah. Oh, my God.
I'm going to go Tennessee in this game right here. I believe Tennessee rebounds, and I believe they go get a big win at Kentucky.
Go ahead, Aaron.
They're so inconsistent, man. Like, if Tennessee could put at least 3 quarters together like they did the first half of this Alabama game, I think they could win this game. Oh, my gosh. Their front four's really, really good. Kentucky's strong point, I really feel like, is running the ball. And I think Tennessee usually does a really good job at stopping the run.
Tennessee.
All right, I got it, boys. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me.
Oh, no.
Good
I'm taking the
old Rocky Top.
balls.
Taking the balls.
I just think Tennessee needs to swing bad, and they're going to show
I think so
up.
too. I think, like you said, Kentucky runs the ball, and they do it pretty well. Ray Davis, the running back, he's like 5'10", 220. He's an absolute tank. But this year he's got 800 yards and 8 touchdowns, and I'm going to take the Kentucky Wildcats. And I'm going to say Ray Davis has a big day against them Tennessee Vols, and I think the run game will be too much for him. That's
Put that one in parentheses, Kern.
Now, Kentucky comes out and plays like they did against Florida. It's possible.
If Kentucky comes out and plays like they did against Florida, Tennessee's in big, big trouble.
Absolutely.
Washington, Stanford. Boys, I'm going to tell you right now, Stanford can upset teams at will, too. I mean, they're a real good football team, but I'm not going against who I feel like is going to be your Heisman Trophy winner this year. Michael Penix Jr. And I'm going to ride him and these Washington boys to victory this week.
Yeah, I got Washington too, and I think I'm going to take Washington big. Stanford's 2-5, and I talk about it all the time. I'm in full agreement with you. I think Michael Penix Jr. is the best quarterback in college football. His stats speak for themselves. The dude's got 2,500 passing yards and 20 touchdowns. He's a stud. He's my favorite quarterback to watch in college football this year. But I got Washington big, 7-0, gonna roll, baby.
Yeah, Stanford, they had a big comeback against Colorado, but I don't think it happens this week. I'm going with Washington big time.
Colorado, UCLA. I'll take UCLA in this, and boys. But just because I think the second half of last week's game ended up keeping Shedeur Sanders from selling all his watches, and he's going to be trying to sell them during this game, and lose focus on it, and UCLA takes the win. Sean?
Well, I think I'm in agreement with you. I do. I think I'm going to take UCLA. But I also want to say, Shedeur Sanders, I know, Colorado has no defense, but Shedeur Sanders has been playing like crazy. He had 500 yards again this week. He's right there close with Michael Penix Jr.'s stats. He's got 2,400 yards, and he has one more touchdown than Michael Penix Jr. and 2 less interceptions. And I'm not trying to say Shedeur's a better quarterback than Michael Penix. I'm just saying I think he's a stud of a player, but I think I do got to go with UCLA on this one too.
Yeah, Michael Penix got his in that USC game, didn't he?
I picked all them California teams there a couple of weeks ago, and they all burnt me.
They're going to burn you again if you don't take this one.
I believe they're going to have to burn me again because I'm going to take Colorado in this one.
Kermit's buying a watch this week. Woo! UNC, Georgia Tech. Away we go, boys. North Carolina's going to bounce back. They're going to take this one.
Yeah, I think the county fair's over this week, and they're the state fair, and I think UNC is actually going to be out there on the football field.
Are they at home this week, UNC?
I don't know, really, to be honest with you. I forgot to look and see. But to me, it don't matter. But, it probably does to you.
I'm going to take Georgia Tech in the triple option, baby. I don't know why. I'm just feeling froggy today. I'm going to take Georgia Tech.
I'm not sure they run the triple option
I don't
anymore.
think they do, but I know they used to, and they used to do it good.
Old Paul's been gone a while.
They was slinging the ball around, a couple weeks ago when I watched them play, but, triple option. You got to take it. What are you going to do if they come out in the triple option? I just said that. They come out in the triple option and start pounding it.
Man, you're like, Sean's got some connections around there in the Georgia. I'm like, they go to Atlanta this weekend or what? Oklahoma State and Arizona. Let's go with you first, Kern.
I'll go Oklahoma State in this one.
Sean, you ready? Or?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to take Oklahoma State, too. And I also want to say, did y'all see what Oklahoma State's running back did last week?
Oh, yeah.
29 carries for 282 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, big time. But, yeah, I got Oklahoma State, too.
Yeah, Oklahoma State's a really good football team.
They are.
And I'm gonna ride them this week as well. That's all we got in college football. Let's get on in here to the Week 9 high school recap. We have Gate City versus John Battle. Gate City did protect the ball a little better this week. Just a few things that, defensively they played really good. Offensively, they'll pound it for 2 or 3 drives and then start their throwing stuff again. And then I think once they do it, they kind of get out of sync a little bit, out of rhythm a little bit. And then they have to get back into it. And it's a good ball game. Battle really, really played pretty good. Defensively pretty good. I mean, honestly, the score probably is closer than what it really was. They had a couple runs where they kind of, busted plays that they kind of got gone, and they scored 2 of them on. They only had one drive that I would really give their offense credit for, but kind of Gate City kind of really did dominate it. They had almost 300 yards rushing in this game.
Yeah, I thought Gate City come out on fire, and they come out fast, quick, and hitting them with the run, and then I think some penalties kind of cost Gate City there, and
yeah, they're going to have to cut out them 15-yard personal fouls.
I'd just like to see them go out there and finish somebody off and quit letting them hang around. I felt like they let Battle hang around a lot in this game. When they should have probably blowed them out a little more.
Yeah. I think Gate City needed this win too, against a division opponent. I think, or not a division, but y'all know what I'm saying. A conference. Is that what it's called? I'm trying to think. Or is it division?
It's a conference.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Or district.
District. That was the word I was looking for. But yeah, I thought they needed this win in a district game, so.
I think it's just wild how just a couple of weeks ago, when Union lost to Union, that if you look
when Union lost to Union,
when Ridgeview lost to Union, Battle was number 2 in the standings, but they're not even got enough points to be in the playoffs. Yeah. But they're starting to have to face some Mountain 7 teams now, and that's putting a hurting on them now.
Well, at that point, they were 2-0 in the district. Now I think they're
2-2.
2-2 or 2-3, something like that.
They lost to Lehigh and then Gate City, right? Beat Abingdon.
They lost to Ridgeview too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ridgeview and Gate
So
City.
they're 2-3.
Oh, so they've not won. Have they won 2 games in the district?
Yeah, they beat
Abingdon Central. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how they was number 2.
Yeah,
and they've lost every ball game other than that one was still sitting at number 2. That's crazy.
I will say number 1 for John Battle is he's a ball player, man.
Yeah.
You can tell that kid wants to win so bad.
He stands out among everybody else, I feel like.
He ran the ball hard, and he had a couple where he just reversed the field, and when he did, there was nobody there, and he was gone. I mean, that boy, he really was. He was trying to win this game. I mean, he wanted it so bad. Battles, I mean, honestly, I think they're a better football team than their record really shows. They've been able to find a way to win. They've been in several games. They just kind of like Eastside, they just can't get over that hump in them tight ones, that they really need. Lehigh Central. Lehigh got the win here. It was Lehigh.
Was it 37?
It was 24-7.
24-7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all kind of seen this coming the way.
Yeah, Lehigh.
Wise has been playing, and then, Wise got to turn around next week, play Gate City, and Gate City kind of feels like, they're kind of getting back to what they was a little bit, and then they're at Grundy at the end of the year. So I don't think Wise will. I'd say Wise and Grundy might be a decent game, really.
Yeah, that's who they got this week, ain't it?
Gate City this week.
Oh, Wise,
Yeah.
Is that who they ended with?
Grundy, yeah. It's Gate City, then Grundy. That's all what they got left. So.
Well.
Yes, sir, mister.
Castlewood, 28. Burton, 46. John I. Burton gets their first win. Did you have something on that?
Well, I think you flipped a coin on this one, didn't you?
I did, and it landed on Castlewood.
But I tell you, it's, Norton come out and get the first win of the year. They come out and started out slow, and I thought Castlewood was going to win this one. And next thing I know, man, Burton took off with it.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it was a good win for them. Glad to see them get that taste of victory.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody got anything else on that one? Okay, Eastside, Thomas Walker. This game right here, Thomas Walker actually led in a lot of this game. I mean, I don't know, boys. Eastside, I just feel like they play to their competition. Like if they play somebody good, they're gonna play good.
Yeah.
Probably, and they just ain't playing well enough to beat those good teams. And then they play somebody that's not, that they should actually probably beat pretty handedly.
Yeah.
They don't. They just barely, I don't know if it's youth or what it is, but needless to say, they needed this win. They keep their playoff hopes alive winning this game. Thomas Walker was ahead of them in the PowerPoints whenever they come out this week. That may move them up one spot, and if that'll just have them one spot out then.
Yeah.
So they definitely got to win out.
I think Thomas Walker coming into this game knowing if they won this game, that was their playoff right there. They know they'd sealed the deal to get into the playoffs. I think
there's one team ahead of them too to get in.
But I believe if they'd beat Coburn, they would have sealed the deal. They'd been in the playoffs, and I believe that's why they come in there and got the start they did against Eastside. But, yeah, Eastside, I figured they'd control this game a whole lot better. I didn't think they'd be behind like they was and in the predicament they was in, and they finally pulled it off in the fourth quarter and pulled away from them. But, yeah, it's a big win for Eastside right here.
Yeah, I agree. And like y'all said, I think they did need this, and it's so hard to get a read on the Eastside because like you said, they go over there to Rye Cove and they play a heck of a game with one of the top teams in the district. And then, they come back and play Burton, and you think, man, they'll beat the brakes off Burton, and then they just have another close game and another close game. So I don't know, man. I think Eastside will be a lot better next year because they're not losing anything, are they?
No, they're young.
Yeah, I mean, they're super young. And
their stud running back is Hamilton kid, I think.
Number 12, Hamilton.
He's a freshman.
Yeah, he's a good ball player too.
He's a freshman.
I was talking about him last week. How I felt like up there at Twin Springs, they probably should have fed him the ball more. He was getting about 8 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if that kid's just a freshman, he's gonna be something else.
Yeah.
Young ball club.
Yeah, I think, like we said, Eastside's still fighting for to get in to these playoffs and stuff. And I think there's some things that's got to happen. I think they need a team to lose, and they need to win here and there to get in. But I mean, if they get in, they're probably going to go in as the 8. They're probably not going to be above the 8. And I'll be honest with you, 4 of the top 5 teams in them playoffs that's in right now for sure, Eastside has been within 7 points of winning them games that they've played against them.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that you really want to see them come playoff time.
That's what I was going to say. If they do get in as the 8, they're playing, these better teams. But like I said, they went and played Rye Cove, and they was right there with them. I mean, the whole game they was right there. And I thought, they had chances where they could have won it too. They just didn't execute. But it's like you said. I think Eastside will be a tough 8 seed, to see again. If you've already played them once, I think they'll be a tough team to see again.
The thing of it is, if they do get the 8 seed, they're going to end up playing Honeacre first because Honeacre's going to have the 1 seed. Outside of that, if they can get the 7 seed, then you're going to have a rematch between Rye Cove and them, or even Twin Springs.
Now, another thing on that number 12 there is, I know I never mentioned it, but on the defensive side of the ball, I ain't trying to compare them to Honeacre from Ridgeview, but you really got to state that because I think every team around's got a Honeacre kid on it.
Yeah,
Abingdon does. Honeacre's got 2 Honeacre kids on that team, but yeah, I think that kid plays awful good on the defense side of the ball, too. He was in on a lot of tackles. He's going to be a stud for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a good ball player for him for the next 3 years.
I think that last name says it, too, because Coburn has had a lot of Hamiltons that's been really good ball players for him.
Yep. Well, my thing is,
We got Twin Springs and Hancock County. Twin Springs won at 48-14.
I believe that was no surprise to
Yeah,
anybody.
I wasn't surprised at that one either.
yeah, no surprise. I mean, Hancock County's played 2 or 3 of these Cumberland District teams, and it's pretty much been that same ordeal throughout all of them.
Kind of like poor little Unaka.
Yeah.
They just get beat, man.
Yeah, they do. Rye Cove and Chilhowie. This right here was a great game. And I mean, honestly, Rye Cove dominated this game. They let Chilhowie get a daggone Hail Murray pass there at the end of it to make it tighter than what it really was.
Well, you know, something that Kermit said earlier is about Gate City, you know, letting people hang around. I think Rye Cove kind of does the same thing sometimes. They let people hang around way too much. And like you just said, Rye Cove dominated this game. When you go back and watch it, I mean, they did whatever they wanted to. But, you know, when you get in playoff times and stuff like that, you can't let people hang around. When you get it going, you got to put the nail in the coffin and leave it there. You can't let people get back in there with you. But
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would have liked to see Rye Cove win this one a little bigger, personally.
Yeah, I was listening to Aaron on the phone on this, and as I was riding by it going to North Carolina, and I went to pull off to stop at the stadium. That little woman about killed me. She said, "You better keep on driving." But yeah, it pretty good ball game there. I think Rye Cove, what I've seen of it.
I think she pretty much said, Kermit Lovell, if you stop 12 months from today, you're going to be dead a year.
Yeah.
And I was like, Kermit, you better not stop, buddy.
But yeah, Rye Cove, they handle them pretty good, and I just, like you're saying, wish they'd put them away, quit letting them hang around like that.
Man, Rye Cove ran the ball so good in this game, man. They ran it right down Chilhowie's throat.
Yeah.
Ridgeview and Abingdon. I feel like Abingdon would win this game, but I didn't see it being as a dominant win as it was.
Especially, I don't know, man. It's just, you know, I've said it since the first episode we done of this thing this year. I said any team in this district can beat you, you know, and it's, you know, Ridgeview's, they've been rolling against all these teams, but that's like I said too, the back half of their schedule is way, way, way tougher than the front half. And, you know, Abingdon's one of them teams, you know, they don't beat you with flash, and they don't beat you, you know, through the air throwing for 500 yards. They come in, they line up, and they run the football, and Ridgeview wasn't ready for that, so that's what I think.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Ridgeview's front half of their schedule, like I said, even going into the Union game, that it was going to start biting them at that point.
It was weak.
I know they're going to fall. They're going to fall in the daggone power rankings now, for sure. After this loss, I'll just be honest with you. I just don't know, man. They still haven't really proved it to me yet.
Yeah.
You know, that they are for real. And I think the first half of their schedule may end up continue to eat at them until, I mean, even when the playoff starts, you know, coming. See, what was they last time in the power rankings? They was like third in the power rankings, wasn't they?
Yeah.
So they're liable to even drop to fourth or fifth now after this loss right here. So, you know, they're off this week, and it may be a good thing for them being off this coming week. I know they had a few injuries, which all the teams at this point in time is, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's battling injuries and sickness and stuff like that.
Something else I have to say about this Ridgeview game is I think it really hurts Ridgeview too that you took a loss that big at home. Also at Ridgeview, you take that loss. But man, that's tough for Ridgeview, man. It's tough. But that's like I said it from the beginning of the year. Any team in this district can beat you, you know. And I think, you know, when Abingdon lost to John Battle at the beginning of this year, everybody said, "Oh, Abingdon's a bunch of pushovers," and then they went and beat Gate City, and, you know, everybody was like, "Oh, well, Gate City ain't no good anymore." You know, they look good the first half, they ain't no good now. And I think a lot of people just overlooking Abingdon. But that's like I said, you know, Abingdon, they ain't flashy. They just grind. I mean, they just line up and run the football straight at you, and you ain't going to do nothing about it. So
Yeah.
Well, I've got a lot of stuff on this game right here because I don't know what it is, but Abingdon shows up for Ridgeview. Last year, I thought Abingdon was going to upset Ridgeview, and then I was like, man, Union's going to have trouble. And then Abingdon comes down there to Union. It looks like a totally different ball club, and it was like, where's that team from last week? But also saying that, I think since the loss to Union, I think Ridgeview just they haven't looked the same the last 2 weeks. I know when they was playing John Battle, I just got the feeling that they just wanted to go out there, let's just get this win and go back home. It wasn't, let's go out there, let's be impressive, let's light people up, let's light the scoreboard up. It was the physicalness of Ridgeview just seemed like it wasn't there in the John Battle game, and I can understand that they're beat up and bruised up and stuff, and their best kid, he's hurt, and but without that Honaker kid 100%, it just, I mean, I think he brings the toughness to that defense, and with him hurt, I think the other kids are laying back, you know, and not being as physical as they was. And
especially against a team like Abingdon that you know is just going to run the ball at you. That's what they're going to do, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they need a player like that to really, you know, like teams that run the ball, you light that running back up 3 or 4 good times, and that Honaker kid's the guy to do it. I mean, y'all watched him play. But without something like that, you know, it's...
I believe he brings the toughness to that team, and I believe he makes people around them step up and have to play tougher because they see him playing so tough, and they seem soft to me the last 2 weeks and the last 2 games.
All right, 1A, 2A playoff picture. Home game versus traveling. What do y'all feel like the importance of this is? How important do you think it is?
I think it's everything.
It's pretty important, ain't it?
Playing on your home field. Y'all know it as well as I do. There ain't a feeling like playing a playoff game on your home field. I mean, especially in winning a playoff game, you know, with all your people there. But, I mean, I know when I was in school, I think when I was a sophomore, we played George Wythe in the playoffs. They made us come over and play them on a Thursday night, and they beat us. And man, it's just it's an awful feeling, you know. Especially if you're driving far too. Sure, that bus ride back ain't no fun after you lose a playoff game. You know you're going home to sit on the couch till next season. But
well, the reason why I asked that question is because, like we spoke of here, Ridgeview losing to Abingdon really changes a lot for Ridgeview. Probably, I'm not sure how much it changes, but it probably takes at least one playoff game that they would have got to host away.
Yeah.
So instead of maybe getting 2, they may end up just having 1. And there's still a lot of that can change within this week and next week.
Yeah.
So I mean, there could be a lot of flip flopping at who's gonna get some home field advantage and who's gonna get to host at home and who ain't. I think the shoe in is right now, Union's going to have home field advantage. Graham's going to have home field advantage, you know, for sure. After that, I mean, in this 2A, it's actually a big toss-up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I see it's two different ways because when you talk about home field advantage, that's great for me because I ain't got to drive nowhere. But it's like I was telling Aaron, I think sometimes I believe Union plays better on the road. I believe they come out more focused, more set on what their task at hand is, and sometimes they impress me more what they do on the road than they do at home.
I think something too. I mean, I think I would take a home game over an away game any day of the week. But like Kermit just said, something you got to think about too. If you're going to an away game that's an hour and a half, 2 hours away, you're on that bus with your teammates. And I don't know about all the other high school coaches, but I know my coach, Rick Mullins at Clintwood, you got on that bus and he got on the front of the bus and he said, this is a business trip. There ain't no goofing off. There ain't no nothing. You locked in right there before you left the parking lot, and you was locked in till you got over there.
They better not hear a word.
I think that is one good part about an away game is, these little high school kids ain't got their girlfriend, and their mommy and daddy to take them out and eat before the game and do all this stuff. I think that is one good part of it, but I would probably still rather have a home game myself,
Absolutely, but it just seems like me sometimes it seems like they're more focused on the task at hand. I don't know if it's where they're with the coaches so long and away from the other people, and that's all that's on their mind, but.
Yeah, man. District championships, boys. 2A's potential is that we could have a split in this thing, and if Abingdon pulls off the upset at Union, then we would liable to see a split. And here we have been talking all year how Union's got it wrapped up now, and Abingdon has said not so quick, boys. And they're wanting to have something to say about this, and it's looking like if nothing changes this week, that going into next week, we're going to have a Ryco Twin Springs matchup at the end of the year that's going to be for all the marbles again. And I believe that's what everybody's been looking forward to. Don't you guys think that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot going to go on in these next. That's what makes these next 2 weeks so daggone special. All right, let's get into next week's picks. Week 10 high school picks. Up first we have Y Central, Gate City. Let's go with you first, Kermit.
I think Gate City, they hit a bad patch there when they took that loss to Abingdon, and I really think that's what Ridgeview's going through right now. They about the same thing, but Gate City's kind of got their feet up under them again. They're starting to roll, and they're going to need this win for the playoffs. I'm going to take Gate City in this game.
I got the Gate City Blue Devils too. Big, actually. I won't take them big.
Yeah, I got the Gate City Blue Devils in this one. I mean, the only way they're in the playoffs right now. They just the more they win, the more chance they got of having at least maybe a chance to host a game. But yeah, I'm gonna take Gate City Blue Devils in this one myself. John Battle versus Lee.
This one could get interesting.
Yes, very bad, very quickly. I mean, Kermit, did you bring your coin?
You want to flip on this one?
I think a man could and feel good about it either way going into it.
I agree with
that. I think it's like you said earlier. Battle's been in a lot of ball games, and they're kind of like Eastside. They struggling to pull them off, and I really believe Battle's going to end up getting them another win on the season in this game.
I do too. I think I'm going to go John Battle in this one. They got 32 sets on offense. I mean, that's a lot for a team to prepare for. They might just be running like 6 plays, but they got 32 sets to get done what they want to do.
Mix it up.
So I'm going to go John Battle on this one as well.
Well, I hate to do it, but I'm going to doom them, I guess. I'm going to take John Battle, too. And, we can't all three pick somebody that win. So.
Whoa, time out. You two would not back up on your all's word before. I'm never picking John Battle
I did
again.
say, yeah, we did both say that, but I guess I'll take them this week.
Y'all can't. I'm taking John Battle by myself. I said, boys, I'm not too good to back up on my word, and I took Battle that week.
I'm gonna jump on the boat with you, and if it starts sinking, we're just gonna drown.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine, boys. There's only one life jacket on it, and it's for me. Okay, you all just remember that, because you all jumped off board and throwed your life jackets away. John I. Burton, Rye Cove.
Rye Cove by a million. That's what I got.
I'm glad Burton got their big win there, but I think things are going to turn back around to what you used to. I'm going Rye Cove big.
Well, y'all might think I'm crazy, but Burton gets that big win last week, and a lot of times, boys, that's all it takes is one win to get a taste of it.
You can't even hold it together.
to get a taste of victory, you know what I'm saying?
I would have smacked you.
But it's not going to taste too good to them this week because Ryko's going to win. They're going to win big.
You were really going somewhere with that.
I was going to. Y'all started laughing at me.
I like that.
Then I felt like really stupid. So then I was like, well, I'm definitely not going to go against some Ryko in this one. Twin Springs, Thomas Walker.
I got Twin Springs by a bunch.
Twin Springs, they're going to keep the intensity up, and they're going to give us the ball game at the end of the year that we've been wanting to see.
I'm going to go Twin Springs Titans in this one, too. They've got to win this one to make this happen for Week 10 with this Ryko Twin Springs matchup. And so the Titans just got to take it, and they're going to. So, boys, I'm 100% sure that this last week, if this high school football in the Cumberland District is going to be a Ryko Twin Springs matchup that's going to have a lot of people at it.
Yep.
Castlewood and Hurley. I got Hurley Rebels.
I got the Hurley Rebels, too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Hurley all the way.
Absolutely. He's not playing, Kermit.
Hurley all the way.
Eastside Auburn. I know Auburn's from up around Roanoke-ish area. I looked at their schedule. They've not won many games, but they've played some pretty good teams, man. But I'm just, by not knowing anything really much about Auburn, I'm just gonna go with the home side and go with the East Side Spartans in this one.
Well, we know Eastside can play, but can they play hard enough to win it? That's a different story. But
I don't know how hard that's got to be, though, myself. Because I don't know about Auburn.
yeah, they play with the big boys, and they just ain't pulled none of the wins out. But I'm gonna take Eastside this week.
Sean?
I'm going to take the Eastside Spartans, too. I want to make you think on that one, though. You've seen that look on my face. I kind of wanted to take Auburn for some weird reason, but
I had that same feeling.
I got the Eastside Spartans, but I hope they pull it out, man.
But I had to go with the local boys.
Yep.
All right, guys, this game right here, Union and Abingdon. This one right here has a whole lot riding on the line. So this is not your typical Union-Abingdon matchup that we've been seeing the past couple years anyhow. Sean, I'm going to go with you first.
Okay. Union-Abingdon. Well, I think Union's defense has impressed me all year, the way they've played. I think their D-line is tough and gritty and nasty, and I like their line. I love the way their linebackers play, and they're hard to throw on. They got so much speed in that secondary, and Paul Huff, playing in the middle there. If you throw the ball, he can get to about anything you throw. That kid's so fast. And then, you flip around, turn around on offense. Keith Chandler pounds the ball on people. And I actually read an article this week said Paul Huff is averaging 118 yards from scrimmage per game this year. So we all know he's a stud. And then you turn around, you got Abingdon, and Abingdon, they don't do anything flashy, like I said before. They just, they line up and they run the football and they run it hard, and that's what they're going to do that's what they'll do to Union, I'm sure. But I'm going to take the Union Bears, but I think it'll be closer than some people think. I think that Abingdon, if I was the Abingdon coach, I'd come in this week running the ball and trying my best to keep Union's offense off the field. If you can keep that offense off the field, you're really limiting the way that they can hurt you. So that would be my plan, but I think Union will end up pulling it out.
Yep. Kermit?
Well, in this game right here, I think Union just matches up better against Abingdon's line. Union's pretty stout up front. I think Abingdon's going to have to do more than what they did there. They're going to have to throw the ball a little more to try to move it on Union. Like I said last year, man, they looked dominant against Ridgeview, and then come down there and just look like a different ball club. And but I believe Union set up pretty good for this style of offense that Abingdon's running. They'll probably load the box up. Abingdon's going to have to throw the ball. I believe it may be a pretty close game, but I've got to take Union in this one.
Well, both of you said something that I like. Sean said that he felt like this one's probably going to be closer than a lot of people think. A little bit earlier, Kermit said that Union plays pretty good on the road. He felt like they probably played better on the road than they do at home. And I'm just going to say that, Kermit, you better hope that's the truth. Because I'm taking the Abingdon Falcons in this game to beat the Union Bears.
Woo!
Good call.
It's home field for Abingdon. There's a lot riding on this right here, and I'm pretty sure, still need this one to even work their way in this 3A playoffs. And, I mean, they're going to come out fired up and ready. And I'm going to take, like I said, I'm taking the Abingdon Falcons in this game.
You love to see it.
Huh?
That's a big pick.
It is a big pick.
That.
It changes a lot. It changes a lot in the district, and it might even change a few things in the playoff pairings and everything too.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Is all hearts and minds clear?
I got something. I need like 2-3 minutes. Okay, so anybody that knows me knows that I'm a huge supporter. I'm a volunteer at Wise County Christian School. Me and my wife both coached there. My wife graduated there. Like, literally all my nieces and nephews go there. I mean, there's like a slew of them out there. Basically, they make up like every sports team there. I mean, like, I think my little sister-in-law, 3 of my nieces are on Madison's volleyball team. But what I was wanting to talk to y'all about is that Wise County Christian School's in trouble, and I think in my life, my family and stuff is important, but the most important thing in my life is glorifying the name of Jesus Christ. And I think that there's not a whole lot of better ways to do that than through a Christian education. I think it's so important. Wise County Christian School don't get any state or federal funding. They're strictly a donation-based and tuition-based school. But I love all them kids out there, but, the world we live in today, there's a huge, need for Christian education, and they're really struggling. And I'm not trying to preach to you or have a church service or nothing like that. I just wanted to, ask you guys as followers and supporters of the podcast, if there's anybody out there that would like to donate, I have a donation thing here if I can read it. You can donate at P.O. Box 3297, Wise, Virginia 24293. But I just wanted to, we have a platform where we can reach people, and I just wanted to reach out and see. We had a basketball tournament this past weekend. It went awesome. I organized it and stuff. It was a ton of work. It went really good. My father-in-law put together a golf tournament this Friday. We got flyers on the golf tournament. If y'all can get on Wise County Christian website and donate that way too. I just want to thank y'all too for if you do make a donation, and I'm not begging you for donations or saying you got to donate, but if you feel led to donate, we would greatly appreciate it. And I love you guys, and thank you for giving me a second to talk about that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And is it too late to sign up for the golf tournament?
It is not. You can get on Wise County Christian School Facebook page, and you can look at I think they posted a flyer on there for the golf tournament. You can still look at that. And I'll be hosting another basketball tournament next week too. I'll get a date and stuff set up. It's a lot to organize, but I'll try to get a date and stuff set up and try to get that on here too, if y'all don't care about that.
Right, and if you can get us the information too, we can always put a post on our Facebook page for everybody.
Absolutely.
And everything is... all hearts and minds are clear. We want to thank everybody for your support. Continue liking us and following us. If you could, give us a rating on all of our platforms. Follow us. We're headed toward 1,000 now.
Yes, sir.
1,000 followers, and man, that's exciting. So if you could help us to get there, we're actually now talking about maybe getting some merch stuff, designed and everything, and maybe we'll be doing a giveaway here soon. So be looking forward to that. I know all you Rocco fans out there, y'all been eating it up. Kermit called the union guys out, and they obviously did not listen because they're still not even saying anything. Gate City fans ain't saying much.
Is that why you picked Abingdon this week?
No, it's not, buddy. I picked Abingdon because I really feel like Abingdon's going to win. But if all hearts and minds clear, we'll see y'all on the next time.
Peace.